tiring, and so on. Research shows that, on average, people experience 36 disorder events in the course of their adulthood, or about one every 18 months. This does not include aging, the ever-present, ongoing disorder event that many of us futilely resist and deny. We tend to think that change and disorder are the exceptions, when, in reality, they are the rules. Look closely, and you'll see that everything is always changing, including us. Life is flux. In the few years preceding this book, I published The Practice of Groundedness, had a second child, left a secure job, moved across the country, stopped participating in a sport that, for years, had been an outsized source of my identity, had surgery on my leg, and became painfully estranged from certain family members. Notice this list of changes includes a mix of the good and the bad. It wasn't just that hard things happened in this short period of time, it's that a lot of things happened in this short period of time. It was overwhelming, and it made for an interesting, if not challenging, few years. Whenever I shared any of these major life experiences with clients, colleagues, friends, and neighbors, they immediately empathized with the fact that I found it at least somewhat disorienting. I learned I was not alone. Just about everyone experiences the doubt, fear, and bewilderment that come with recognizing, up close and personal, that life is not as stable as we think or would like it to be. Herein lies a problem. A central narrative in our culture urges us to seek stability, yet this does not reflect the reality that change is constant, and that, with the right skills, it can be a dramatic force for growth. It's time to flip that script. Accepting the inevitability of it can be scary at first, but as I've come to see, and as you'll hear throughout this book, embracing life's fluidity actually turns out to be empowering and even an advantage. No doubt change can hurt, but it comes with all sorts of benefits too. Learning an entirely new way to conceive of and work with change, what I've come to call rugged flexibility, minimizes distress, restlessness, and angst while promoting deep happiness and lasting fulfillment. It also leads to better and more sustainable performance on the activities and pursuits about which we care most. In this way, rugged flexibility is foundational to sustainable excellence, doing good and feeling good in a way that supports our long-term goals. Equally important is that skillfully working with change makes for kinder and wiser people, something the world desperately needs. Plus, it's not like we have any choice in the matter. Though you may wish it weren't so, you simply cannot pause time or control life. Trying to is a fool's errand, utterly exhausting, and a common cause of burnout and languishing for otherwise healthy people. The latest findings from psychology, biology, sociology, philosophy, and cutting-edge neuroscience all demonstrate that change itself is neutral. It becomes negative or positive based on how we view it and, more importantly, what we do with it. Meanwhile, unlike in the modern-day West, where we view life as linear and relatively stable, many of the world's ancient wisdom traditions, such as Buddhism, Stoicism, and Taoism, recognize the cyclical nature of reality and the pervasiveness of change. Ancient wisdom and modern science agree that impermanence is an undeniable reality, a fundamental truth of the universe. Clinging to the illusion of permanence, hoping that we won't be struck by change, that will stay more or less the same, is misguided at best and leads to suffering at worst. Life is an ongoing and oscillating series of ebbs and flows. Developing a strong, enduring, and cohesive sense of self demands specific skills to ride the waves. Unfortunately, these skills aren't typically taught in school, and they have been largely neglected by recent generations, who far too often have deluded themselves with ideas of control, security, and constancy, all of which